They call me mellow yellow. Got to strike while the iron's hot. I got pretty turned on with the missing links, and I just have to do this while I think of it. There's this famous band that were not famous at all, except from Brisbane down to the Sutherland Shire, which is where I grew up in the southern suburbs of Sydney. They travelled up and down, up and down. They were notorious, absolutely notorious. Um, they there was graffiti on the bridge, the underpass of the bridge between Gymea and Kirrawee. I grew up in Gymea Bay, and Kirrawee. The creatures, it was there for decades. It was just like, and they used to park in Hotham Street across from Gymea Technical High School, where I went to high school, and they'd pull up in this huge old American Cadillac or whatever the hell it was, and all the naughty girls from my school would go over and jump in the car with them, and off they'd go. I won't name names, but yeah, they were famous because they never had a hit single. They were notorious, but not famous, and they were the first band that I know of. Well, in Australia, definitely. They all dyed their hair different colours, like silver, bright orange, purple, all this sort of shit. And they walk around the streets like that in Sydney in 65, 66. That's a death sentence. You know, I mean, honestly, I used to get chased, and, you know, I was a very fast runner, so I didn't get beaten up too often. But to do that in, you know, macho Sydney in those days was a very, very brave thing, or foolhardy. Jim Keys, the lead singer the singer in the Masters Apprentices. I'll do a video on them soon. The best band ever to come out of Australia in the 60s, even better than the Easy Beats. They weren't as good as songwriters as the Easy Beats, but they were just they could cover a bigger area, you know, heavy to pop to, you know, they were much more diverse. Jim Keys has a great story about when the band were they were heading down to my area, the Sutherland Shire, to play a gig with the Creatures, and they ran out of petrol on Tom Ugly's Bridge, which is a famous bridge across the Georges River. Yes, Tom Ugly's. And actually, that's one of my earliest memories of seeing a guy decapitated on that bridge. I was in the old 1948 Anglia with my father, and we were puttering along there, heading north up King George's Road, and in front of us there's a little red sports car with like a tall guy and a shorter girlfriend, and in front of them was a flatbed truck. And I'll never forget it because it's as clear as day to me. And we're behind him, and I can see it now. He turned his head. It's a right-hand drive in Australia. He turned his head and he was talking to his girlfriend, and ran straight under the back of the flatbed truck, and off it came. And Dad pushed me down in the passenger seat, but I'd seen it. You know what I mean? So that's Tom Ugly's Bridge. So they broke down, ran out of fuel, and I broke down there many years ago in the early 2000s. And oh boy, everyone was angry behind me, but it wasn't my fault. They put these computers in modern cars, and the computer died. The car, you can't even push it. When the computer dies in a modern car, it's dead. Anyway, so running late, and they got there 2 hours late, and they said that they were horrified because when they got there, this bunch of Neanderthals with axes and baseball bats came running out, and it was the Creatures, you know, the legends in the Sutherland Shire. And about half the band were people of Yugoslavian origin from way out west in New South Wales, country boys. The lead singer was English. I'm not too sure about a couple of the others. I better hurry up. It's 4:46. So this is a cover. This is wonderful because someone put this out in 1999. It was a female actually in Newtown, Sydney, one of the inner trendy suburbs of Sydney, and it was the last pressing plant pressing plant left in Sydney, independent, in the 90s. And God bless her, she put this out because this is an impossibly hard, not this, but the single ugly thing is impossible to find. It's legendary. It was never a hit, but they're famous for a song called Ugly Thing. And it is ugly. It's the ugliest damn sound you'll ever hear in your life. And yeah, what can I say? And it's just great. They just put this beautiful little booklet with it. It's that extremely rare um, label, 66 Sound, and doing their version of Mona. But everyone did Mona in those days, so you can forgive them for that. On the back cover is a close-up of these delightful little fellows. Uh, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. Um, that single is worth a fortune. Absolute fortune. Ugly Thing, the Creatures on RCA, not for sale promo. That fellow up the top was an English guy. He was a singer. And to cut to the chase, after the band broke up, he got involved with tow trucks. And there was a thing in Sydney in the 70s called the Tow Truck Wars, and it was ugly, lots of killings. And he was shot dead. This chappie here, he was shot dead during the tow truck wars. It was nasty stuff, very, very nasty. But this is a beautiful job. A little potted history, pictures of the band. Oh man, and Top Shelf Records. Public performance and broadcast encouraged. PO Box 312, Newtown 2042, New South Wales, Australia. God bless you for doing this. And so there we have it, a late 90s reissue and beautifully presented. A legendary band, or absolutely legendary. Not so much for their music, but just for the outrageous things that happened around them. And I suggest look it up on YouTube if it's available there. It's ugly, really ugly, beautiful.